Welcome, dear viewers, to Couch Warrior TV on YouTube. I am the Couch Warrior, and this is the Unbound Workshop. This video series is the companion to Character Crusade Unbound podcast. Out there. And each episode, we explore Skyrim roleplay concepts and ideas through actual gameplay. Okay? Season 1 of the podcast is called Random Skyrim Roleplay, and our character concept is Raiden, the Ashaba Undead Slayer. If you're interested in more information about the play rules, how this all works, you can find that by going to unbound.charactercrusade.com. That will get you all the information you need to get caught up on what's going on here. And whoa, 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 whoa. All right. This is the domain of the Undead Slayer. All right, cool. We got Goldier sporting a ranged weapon for support. That's great. I'm glad he made that choice. Okay, evade.
Sorry, this isn't what I want. I don't want to do this.
Charging power attack. There we go. All right. Have we dealt with the threat here? More dragons. I was wondering when Unbound was going to start putting in dragons. Very cool. All right. Does that do it? Did that do it? God, he's close. All right. What I'm really interested in is the situation with this location and the undead that are here. So let's go find out what's going on here. Now, this is one of those instances where, yes, there is dark intent here. There's something strange going on, but I didn't really need to roll for it because the ghosts attacked me and kind of drew me into the engagement. So we're going to investigate. Which is good because the last two episodes have been lots of chatter and lots of travel. We need to do something. We need to get some action going here. And this is like the perfect situation for our guy here. All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Is someone there? Stay back. I don't want to attack you. I don't want to do this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this. Let's bump her up to legendary. Let's make the transition here. All right. We'll see how this goes. And if it goes well, maybe in the next episode, we'll also introduce our combat overhaul. Man, they're all two-handed weapon dudes.
I don't have any choice. I'm sorry. I don't have any choice. I'm sorry.
Finish him, Goldier.
I don't want to do this. I'm on your side.
We got him. I got him.
I don't have any choice. I'm sorry.
All right. We got that level. Let's go ahead and... It's invested in health. All right, now we got 3 perks banked. Man. But it also means that we can train again. And if we take a look at restoration. Restoration is where... This is what I'm really after, is getting up through Descending Light and into Warrior's Flame. That would be amazing to get to Warrior's Flame. Now, I can't get there for a while yet, but I could get some of these other ones. Attacks and restoration spells and effects are 20% more powerful against undead enemies. The key phrase here, or key word, is attacks, right? Which means if I take that, I'm going to get some benefit even with the sword. I don't have to be casting spells. Okay? Vigilant is not really useful to us. So we could get up to Hallowed Burial, right? Ultimately, Warrior's Flame is one of those things I'm after because it's kind of a passive effect that helps us in combat and also helps our followers as well through healing and stuff. So these are some of those things I was thinking about were sort of innate effects. So one of the things that... Oh, what's this sword? Moonblade. Another fancy sword for the collection. Okay. One of the things that's kind of essential to this character is the situation of his parentage. As I've said, his mother was an Ashaba priestess, but she intentionally went out of her way to have a child with a high elf man. And the reasoning for that was that she had every intent of raising the child on her own, but she was hoping to instill some innate magical ability into her child that might help him better survive the battles against the undead that she knew were coming. So she knew that there was a very strong chance that her son would not be a magic wielder, just because it's not exactly common in Redguard society, generally speaking. So she's trying to give her son whatever bit of protection she can come up with, right? And if there's a chance that having at least part elven blood might help him survive battles or be better equipped to survive battles against the undead, then that's what she's going to do. And that was kind of her plan. So I'm using that as the premise to help me make perk selections when in the restoration tree. Must have been that gate. All right, we better check it. Before I continue on, I want to make sure we're not getting flanked here. Okay. All right, that closes the same one we just opened. So...
I don't have any choice. Time to get lost. I'm sorry. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this.
All right. Now this standing stone effect, right, with all the spirits and stuff like that, it's pretty powerful, obviously. I mean, it floods the battlefield basically with people who are allies, right? And there are times where it can be annoying and times when it can be overpowered, in my view. Especially when you combine it with the fact that one of the very first things that I discovered after this character was created is the sword that he's wielding right now, which is called Baptism in Fire. But giving up the sword made no sense. It was just too good. The idea that he's searching for his destiny, and one of the first things he finds is this mighty sword called Baptism in Fire. For the sake of the story, it made no sense to give it up. And I love the idea that it kind of made him extremely powerful. It made him feel like an accomplished swordsman right out of the gate, like he had been trained all of his life, right? The Ritual Stone, however, when I'm using the Andromeda Standing Stones mod, adds all these spirits which basically come to your aid as if they were followers, and then they just vanish. And of course, that adds additional complexity and additional power to a character who's already very powerful. Thus, the fact that we're at level 21 and we're playing at legendary difficulty and we're still, you know, we're still doing pretty well. But I think what's interesting is that I think the key is to not think so much about the fact that, you know, the game is too easy at this point, or, you know, or whatever it is. Stop necessarily thinking about, should I add this to a character, you know, stop thinking about it in terms of adding something to a character makes the character overpowered. Well, maybe it does, and maybe that's a great thing to start with. But then also, maybe think a little bit differently now. What if we take it away? What kinds of cool stuff could we do if we take it away? So, what if we have a situation in the future, for roleplay's sake, where something happens to Raiden that causes us to take that power away from him? What does that mean to him personally? And what kind of effect does it have on the story? Die. There we go. Ooh, man. This guy's given me trouble in the past. All right. Take the stabs. So when I'm thinking about what a character has on them, I try to think past the moment that I'm currently in. Some people would look at this and say, wow, this is legendary. It seems like he's overpowered. Yeah, maybe it does. But think about the opportunity that it gives us in the future. Think about the opportunity that it gives a role player in the future to have a situation where we have this person who is an accomplished warrior. He's obviously very good at what he does, and now suddenly something significant happens that weakens him in some way. Say he were to lose the sword in the future. Say he were to lose his power to bind spirits to his will. All of these things are wonderful opportunities to play out a change in the character's situation in a way that has a real impact on roleplay, kind of at an emotional level, right? And then it's instances like that where we can make the case for a character's entire attitude about the world and the choices that he's going to make. We can say that those things are changing, and we can base those changes on some factor. You know, here's a person who's always been able to bind souls to himself. It's been kind of an innate ability, and now suddenly it's gone, and he doesn't know why, right? To me, that's a wonderful opportunity for roleplay. So I'm going to go ahead and invite the kind of overpowered feeling now and appreciate it for what it is, because maybe this is an aspect of who he is that makes him take certain things for granted that'll impact him later, or causes him to be overconfident. That can also cause problems later, right? Overconfidence. So, well, it may be tempting to take something away and say it's overpowered now. I like to think beyond the short term or the immediate situation and think about the longer term story. So for me, keeping it around, keeping him the way he is now, and allowing him to be powerful now means that this is something that I can take away later or curtail in some way later for the sake of the story, and whatever it is happening in that situation is going to be that much more impactful, which to me is awesome. Those are the moments that I look for. I call those, I just refer to them as transitional moments for a character, when their personality changes, when something significant changes. No, you don't. All right. So, what I'm always looking for is those key moments, because what makes a character is their journey. And Raiden is just starting his journey. And what we understand of Raiden right now is that he is a person who is generally thoughtful, logical, orderly, law-abiding, has a bottomless capacity to be dispassionate about situations and evaluate them in a logical way. However, this game gives us plenty of opportunities for an attitude like that to change to something darker, more chaotic, stuff like that. And if the idea is to be open to change and open to roleplay, then we also got to be open to allowing our character to be both powerful and to be weak, right? So that's how I think about that situation. I look at this idea that he's powerful now as an opportunity to take those things away or to make some other change later on that will cause him to be in a situation where he's really got to dig deep to survive, right? He's got to live without something that has been valuable to him for a long time. And really, this is only my 4th play session. We're already at level 21, but it's only my 4th play session with this character, which to me means his career in Skyrim is really just getting started. There's a lot of opportunity for change still, and we're only halfway through. We're not even halfway through Season 1. We'll be halfway through Season 1 of this season of Unbound in the next podcast recording, which is a week and a half from this date. So there's still plenty of sessions to go. Whoa. Oh, here he comes. Ooh, man. Thought he was going to do me in. Hey, there's our bear. All right. Now, we're looking for Brood Cavern. We got a ways to go before we get there. And we're in some rugged terrain. So we're gonna head on down here, and we're gonna cross the river here and cross it again once we get up into the hills. Anyway, that's a long way of describing a philosophy that I have about this game. What my favorite thing to do is to, we talk about this in the podcast quite a bit as well, but I like to create the basis for a character. I like to have a good understanding of the character's personality, but I don't like to have all the answers. I like to have the game kind of steer me along in some ways. And so for that to happen, for it to be fruitful and for it to be interesting, we need to have just enough information that we can make decisions for our character based on personality traits and stuff like that, but not have so many answers that we can't preserve a little mystery for ourselves. We can't adapt to the game as it goes forward. We can't change our thought process on things. Okay, this looks grim. You don't need dark intent rolls to say there's something bad going on here. What's going on back here? Alright, I don't know what's going on here, but Goldir is behind somewhere, and I'm worried he's getting into trouble. And I see people kind of glowing. And we found a cave with dead and skewered bodies outside of it. Are these bandits? They picked a stupid fight, didn't they? They're retreating. Not attacking me, though, either. So I don't know what their story is. Oh, she's being attacked by a mud crab. Okay, we don't know her to be an enemy, so we save her from that mud crab. Let's talk to her. What's going on? Alright, she's not talking. Alright, we don't know where our boy Goldir is. Take that. Shield of Grit. Man, I don't know if I have that enchantment, so we're going to take that shield. I might have it. I don't know. Where did he go? Fool. See, now I'm worried. I mean, we've got dragons flying around. We got giants. We've got strange mages. What if something happened to him, right? All right, so we came down this hill. We crossed the river right down here. If he didn't make it down the rock face, that means he had to go around somewhere, right? All right, let's see if we've got instincts mapped. We do. The range on instincts is not going to be very helpful to us, I'm thinking. Is that him over there? Does that look like a torch? It does.
Someone there? Stay back. I don't want to attack you. I'm sorry. This isn't what I want.
What? Who's this? You have a subjugated ghost? Did you do that with one of those staves? Look at, he's using a different sword now too. He's switched to a different sword. Shit, what have you been doing? What's going on, man? All right, well, can you guys get up this way? All right, Goldir, I like this. This is kind of interesting, right? Give Goldir a bunch of magic items and see what he chooses to do with them. Now he's got a subjugated ghost, and he's using the moon sword, which I didn't really even look very closely to see what it did. I don't know if the moon sword's doing that, or if one of his staves is doing that. He's picked up this subjugated ghost follower, I'm assuming is from the last dungeon crawl we did. What is going on? It's like he's the ghost whisperer, right? All right. Interesting. Your companion has some unusual powers. What the hell?
I don't have any choice. I'm sorry.
All right.
I don't want to do this.
Your end draws near.
He went downstream.
I don't have any choice. I'm sorry.
Ah, missed my jump.
I don't want to do this. I don't have any.
Damn. He did not hesitate to use the stabs we gave him, did he? I gave him like 4 different stabs. Look at him go. I'm impressed. Come on out of there.
You're pathetic.
Yeah, come here and say that, you bastard. Shit! Here at Lost Barrel Brewing, we have a long tradition of crafting only the finest in ancient lagers. Great brews begin with great ingredients, and Draugr lager is made from only the finest grains and hops, aged for thousands of years. Every batch is brewed with ice-cold water drawn from the deepest caverns below the earth, checked for body parts, and triple filtered through fairly clean burial linens, then aged for hundreds of years in elder gleam barrels. Draugr lager is good, and is not meant for barmy, soft-gutted, plug-ugly tossers. Draugr lager, the great taste of the undead, with no bitter afterlife.
Undead, a little more
All right, we're back. Now we're trying to find Gold Deer again, god damn it. Where are you? Screwing around with the subjugated ghosts. So yeah, we got taken out by the bandit chief with a nasty hammer blow, which I tried to block and totally mistimed my block and got clocked real hard. So let's gather up our follower. These bandits are morons, apparently, attacking giants, mud crabs, and all that. All right, come on. Dude, that's enough. Come on, let's go. All right. Now we could take another run at these bandits, I suppose. If we do that, though, can't let that bandit chief screw around. All that crap in the river there was not great. It's a ghostly crab. don't know where these bandits are. Gold Ear seems to think he knows. Well, let's follow him.
I love a challenge.
It's not really a challenge, buddy. All right. Let's keep moving. Oh. Here we go. I got this one. Let's figure out where this chief is. There he is, right there. Oh. Gold Deer dominated him. Maybe I should get a shield, huh? That worked nice. Oh, look at, he's got lots of poisons on him. Well, we'll take the poisons. He is a poisoner, apparently. Gold there, too. All right, let's continue. Gold Deer is formidable. I like it. Formidable indeed. All right. Let's clear this out. All right, here we go. Now, close quarters, things could get messy with all these spirit things. Finish her off. Come on. All right, this is too crowded. Too crowded.
You'll be so much easier to rope when you're dead.
Okay, let's get into the open here. There we go.
I can take you.
It's hard to tell what's happening. Getting to light.
That it? That's your best?
Ooh, is that the chief? Yeah, that's the chief. Oh, shit. She's good. Oh, she gave me a run. She gave me a run for my money there. Oh, sweet mother. Let's take a break. Falkreath Blade. Bandit's Journal. I don't know if I'm going to read that or not. She had quite the hodgepodge of armor. Let's look at that armor. Well, our Sand Assassin Curus is every bit as good, plus enchanted. So, I think we're good. Let's get a torch going. So having all those spirits around is not an ideal situation when it's in close quarters. That's when I start getting nervous, like when I feel like I don't have freedom of movement. That's when a fella gets killed. So... Ooh, Ring of Sunfire. Poison and disease resistance increased by 25%. Magic resistance by 10%. Wow, that's another great ring. Not exactly sure which mod those are coming from just yet. All right. Well, let's loot the rest of this place. And then, if I remember correctly, we are not far from Brood Cavern, which is where we are going to find our first target. So, we're going to loot this place. We're going to camp out here, get a little bit of rest, and then we're going to hit Brood Cavern in the daylight and see what we can see. Hopefully what we see is the person we're searching for. Whatever his name was. The guy, the animal/troll trainer guy. We're going to find him. And then we can move on to our next target and be done with this phase of the adventure. Then it's going to be back to Isran to find out what our next mission is. And that should be quite interesting. So, that's going to do it for this episode of Unbound Workshop. Thanks for checking it out, everybody. If you'd like to get involved and play along with us, check out unbound.charactercrusade.com for the current play rules. You can join the discussion with other players who are also participating in the fun by going to discord.charactercrusade.com. You can find Character Crusade Unbound podcast on iTunes and YouTube. All of that stuff is linked off the website, easy to find, at charactercrusade.com. We're also doing live streams of our podcasts, and the schedule for those podcasts is posted for the months of April and May on charactercrusade.com. Check it out, and I hope you join us. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next episode.